Chapter 2. The man with glasses. It was a busy weekend, and the coffee shop buzzed with noise. Lan scanned the room and found the man she was supposed to meet sitting behind a large tree by the window. He looked to be around 27 or 28 years old. His silver-rimmed glasses softened his sharp and handsome features, adding a refined, intellectual air. He wore a precisely tailored suit, elegant and composed, yet exuding an invisible force that subtly pressured those around him. Lan, skilled at reading people, instantly noticed the piercing gaze behind his glasses as he quietly assessed her. A strange familiarity stirred within her chest, but she pushed it aside. "This man doesn't belong in my world," she silently concluded. "I'm Lan. You are the one who wanted to meet." She sat down opposite him without waiting for an invitation, her eyes drifting to the beige overcoat neatly draped over his chair. Kieu observed her without reservation. Her messy red curls looked neglected, the cheap dye already faded, revealing black roots. Her thick makeup was both excessive and clumsy, her outfit flashy and outdated. The scent of heavy perfume clung to her. Everything about her screamed street life and overt contrast to her surroundings. "Yes," he confirmed, lifting his coffee for a sip. "Would you like something to drink?" Lan shook her head. Strangely, this was the first time she ever turned down a free drink. This man wasn't an ordinary client. Her instincts told her he wasn't here for entertainment. "How should I address you?" "This is your first time meeting a Lan," she said with a smile, playing along lightly. "Kieu," he replied, relaxing back into his seat, his tone even. It surprised him. She hadn't recognized him from the night before. "What happened to Gia last night?" he asked bluntly. Gia? Who's that?" Lan blinked. She didn't remember anyone by that name. Maybe he had the wrong person. Annoyance crept in. Her rare day off was being wasted. "Wasn't she at your place?" "She used your phone to call me this morning." "How else do you think I found you?" Lam Kieu's eyes narrowed sharply. Lan's eyes widened in realization. She muttered a curse, then put on a polite smile. "Oh, that girl. I didn't even catch her name. She looked pitiful, so I brought her home. She left this morning without a word. I have no idea where she went." Then she stood up abruptly. "If you have nothing else, I'll be leaving." "Hold on." Kieu hadn't expected her to get up so suddenly and instinctively grabbed her wrist. Lan smirked and leaned closer, teasing with a low, seductive voice. "Changed your mind? 500 no bargaining." She purposely quoted a high price, hoping to push him away. Her instincts screamed he wasn't someone to mess with. The strong scent of her cheap perfume overwhelmed Kieu, making him turn his head and sneeze twice. "Please, sit down," he said, more awkward than angry. Lan shrugged and sat back down. Inwardly, she thought that if he was willing to pay, she didn't mind going along with it. "I'll pay, but I want to go to your place," he said directly. Money, he thought, was the easiest way to handle someone like her. He needed to know where Gia had been and what had happened. Lan raised an eyebrow, surprised. Lately, she'd only run into broke clients, but now, in 2 days, she'd met generous ones back to back. Despite a twinge of pain from a wound on her back, the money outweighed the discomfort. "Upfront payment, huh?" She mistook his pause for hesitation. Kieu, thinking she wanted cash first, promptly took out his wallet and handed her 500. Lan snatched the money quickly, faster than a thief. She never brought clients home, but $500 warranted an exception. Without wasting another word, she pocketed the cash and said, "All right, let's go." Kieu smiled faintly at her bluntness, paid for his coffee, grabbed his coat, and followed her. They both ignored the curious stares from the other customers. What he didn't expect was the place she led him to: filthy stairwells, stinking garbage, cramped 2-story flats jammed into odd angles. It was suffocating. "I met that girl right here last night," Lan said, pointing casually at a grimy cement wall. Out of respect for the money, she offered him that much. But she avoided mentioning anything about the gang led by Lang to Dangerous. She still needed to survive in this neighborhood. Kieu scrutinized the area but found nothing useful. "Did you see anyone else when you found her?" Lan cursed inwardly for saying too much. Outwardly, she smiled slyly. "You care a lot about her. Is she your girlfriend?" "Not yet," Kieu replied calmly, not pushing further. At that moment, a heavily made-up woman approached Lee. She immediately fixed her gaze on Kieu like a fly to honey. Lan scoffed and spat on the ground. "Whore," she muttered. Lee was the one who'd spread rumors that Lan had AIDS. Kieu, amused, noted that they were both prostitutes. Wasn't this just the pot calling the kettle black? Tuel smiled sweetly at him. Hey, handsome. You looking for fun? We've got all kinds of girls. Take your pick. Kieu didn't react, but Lan was already furious. Bitch, don't you dare try to steal my client. She shoved Lee away. Lee snarled back. At least I'm cleaner than that diseased filth you are. AIDS? Kieu's blood ran cold. He hadn't used protection last night. Panic set in. Lan slapped Lee hard. Say that again, and I'll rip your mouth apart. Lee fought back, pulling Lan's hair. Everyone knows you've got something. Who knows how many guys you've infected? Kieu stepped in, grabbing Lan's arm. Enough. But not before Lee scratched Lan's face and caught Kieu's as well. Let go of me, you bastard. Lan shouted, kicking Lee in the stomach. Do you still want the money or not? Kieu shouted, finally losing his cool. He half-dragged Lan away from the chaos. Once far enough, Lan shook him off. Okay, I can walk. Don't worry, I'm not going back there. Kieu hesitated, but didn't let go immediately. Lan smiled. Working with you is more profitable than fighting with that hag. Only then did Kieu release her, though the strong scent of her perfume now clung to his coat. Inside her modest home, Lan offered him a seat and some water. It's just tap water, but I boiled it. Don't worry, it's clean. Kieu declined at first, still shaken by what he'd heard. Lan disappeared behind a curtain and came back with a small first aid kit. You got scratched too. Let me disinfect it. He tried to refuse, but she dabbed the alcohol on his cheek anyway. Do you really have AIDS? He asked bluntly. Lan froze, then threw the cotton swab into the bin. Regretting it now? She asked coldly. Then she tossed the 500 back at him. We haven't done anything. Take your money and get out. I just want to know the truth. He growled, grabbing her by the collar. She didn't flinch. No, I don't have it. He let go, collapsing back into his chair, rubbing his face. He'd need to get tested. So, do you still want to do it or not? Lan asked flatly. I'm not in the mood. Let's just talk. I'll pay. Lan was stunned. Talking could earn money too? Sure. Give me a moment. She cleaned a chipped porcelain cup and poured him water, now a bit embarrassed. Sorry, I only have this one cup. Hope you don't mind. Kieu accepted it politely. The place was small, but clean surprisingly so for someone in her line of work. The air wasn't stale or smoky, nor did it smell like cheap perfume. It was strangely peaceful. Did Gia Gia stay here all night? He asked. Lan nodded. Yes. Something happened, but she wasn't hurt. She just got scared she might have caught AIDS from my blood. You should take her for a test. She showed him a long unbandaged cut on her palm. Kieu's brows furrowed. This woman was chaos. The next day, Lan stood outside a small clinic in the cold, clutching a pregnancy test in disbelief. 2 red lines. Pregnant. She used long-term contraceptives. She always used protection. How could this happen? She cursed. Business had been terrible lately, and now this? Still, she knew what she had to do. No way. She'd have some bastard's baby. She waited in the cold for the clinic to open. Snow began falling, covering her shoulders, her old coat threadbare at the cuffs. Her unpainted face looked years younger, soft and unguarded. She had started this life at not even 20, fresh out of prison. Her sister had just been accepted to a prestigious university, and Lan had needed money fast. She had no regrets. She'd done what she had to do. As the snow thickened, she looked up, then slowly walked through the city streets, softly humming a tune from a nearby shop. Her face was calm, but her heart was heavy, full of memories, pain, and the will to survive another day. See you next chapter.